Have you ever wondered what it's like to eat at the French Laundry? Today, we're going to create one of their signature dishes, oysters and pearls. I'm going to use my knowledge from working in Michelin star restaurants to help guide you through it. 30 grams of tapioca. These were actually kind of hard to find. I'll have these linked down below. And then we have 4 ounces of warmed milk. I just heated this up in the microwave. Let this sit in a warm spot for an hour. You can also do this a day ahead and store it in the fridge. One thing that he talks about in the book, you want to look for thick shelled oysters. They have more oyster liquor inside the shell. So to open the oysters, you want to grab a towel. You're going to fold it over. This is to help protect your hands. Oyster knife, blade side out, and you have a hinge right here. Gently twist. Don't push too hard because you might stab the oyster in there. Pop it, keep your knife in there, and we're going to scrape the bottom of the top shell. And I always like to wipe my blade off so that we're not introducing more shell into the oyster. You have an abductor muscle right here. We're going to use the blade and we're going to scrape just next to that. Once it's released, go around, make sure he's unstuck. And if you're going to serve these just on the half shell, the best way to do it is to flip it around. You want to remove the abductor muscle right there, but you want the nice round side facing out. Put that in there for now. Put all the trimmings off to the side. And then the next step, we are going to trim the oysters. So he says to get rid of all the beard, we want to get rid of the adductor muscle right here. So all we're left is with this belly. And we'll save this trim off to the side. And in the book, he suggests that you soak them just in regular water for a couple hours. And then you just want to store these in the fridge until we're ready to use them. After an hour, drain and rinse off your tapioca. Next, we're going to whip 2 ounces of cream just until it hits soft peaks. I'm gonna store this in the fridge. So we're gonna take our oyster trim, 3 ounces of cream, and milk. Once you bring this up to a simmer, strain it off into your pot. It's important to do this on nice low heat because cream will boil over and milk will curdle. Push out all that flavor and then add in your tapioca. Use a wooden spoon and we're gonna cook this over medium heat. After about 5 to 7 minutes, you should be able to create a trail. Now we just gotta keep on cooking the tapioca until it's completely tender in the center. That's really good. And it needs to be super sticky. When you lift it up, tapioca should stick to the wooden spoon. You should have a hard time to get it off. This is a water bath. You have 2 egg yolks and 1 ounce of the oyster juice. Whisk this up till it's nice and fluffy. This is known as a sabayon. So that took way longer than it was supposed to. I think that it was a little bit too much oyster liquor. When you taste it, it's really, really salty. So I'm just gonna go ahead and redo it. 2 egg yolks, 15 grams of oyster liquor. That was a lot faster. That tastes far better. That was way too much oyster juice in there. From here, we're gonna mix the tapioca, season with a lot of black pepper. 1 ounce of crème fraiche. You would season with a little bit of salt. Just be careful not to do too much. We're serving this with oysters and caviar. Both are salty. This is where you add the whipped cream, which I forgot, but it'll be labeled in the recipe below. We're gonna divide this into 4 bowls. So you're gonna take the bowl, just gonna tap the bottom so it's nice and flat. Make sure you get out any of the air pockets. And in the book it says to wrap these up, store them in the fridge no more than a day ahead of time. Almost ready to start baking these off, so I'm just gonna leave these at room temperature. To make the sauce, we're gonna add in 25 milliliters of vermouth, extra dry oyster liquor, 10 grams of shallots, and 10 grams of white wine vinegar. So we're essentially making a beurre blanc. Cook this down. We're gonna stop once the shallots are glazed. So there's just a little bit of liquid left on the bottom. The recipe doesn't specify this, but using cube cold butter can help prevent the sauce from getting too hot and breaking. Also, a splash of cream can help too. Before you add the next amount of butter, make sure your first batch is completely melted. You just want enough heat to warm up the butter so you can stir it in and emulsify it. Always make sure you taste. Tastes really good. I'm just gonna keep this off to the side. Next, we're gonna put our tapioca and sabayon into the oven, 350 degrees. We're looking for them to souffle or puff up. Since I forgot the whipped cream, this took me a little bit longer than what the recipe stated. Recipe says 4 to 5 minutes. This took me about 9 minutes. We're gonna add the oysters into the sauce and just warm them. And add in 7 grams of chives. So you get on 2 oysters. Do a spoon on enough sauce to cover the tapioca. The recipe calls for Osetra Caviar. You want to have 2 spoons that are the same. Nice big amount of caviar. Be sure to use stainless steel or plastic spoons. Metals like silver will add a metallic flavor. Spoon the caviar back and forth until you get a quenelle shape. If you guys enjoyed this recipe, you should check out this menu next.